So Darren,
Yes.
the end of another month,
It is.
the beginning of a new one.
Yes.
How did it go? What happened last month? How was it for you, sir?
Do you know what? Every day, every week,
You want to quit?
every month, there's a different story. I mean, it's quite unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, we start the week fresh, and
I'm glad you do.
then different things come in. It's such a multifaceted industry, isn't it? And we're seeing everything. And this month of April, I think, has thrown everything into it: the good and the ugly. And no, it's been another great month actually. It's been really full on actually. It's been great.
I think if you measure sort of the metrics of where we stand, the lead flow, I thought the lead flow, because there's a lot of competitors in the market, there's people talking about, oh, maybe clients aren't that bothered at the moment and interest rates are still quite high. Our lead flow has been one of the best we've seen. I mean,
strong.
we had days at the end of April, particularly last 2 weeks, that we were kind of getting swamped a little bit with leads, and they weren't just volume of leads, they were good inquiries, people who were showing some serious intent even at the point of inquiry, which is not unusual, but to have so many of them in one fell swoop is unusual.
Well, I think it is, and these are all quality leads with intent to purchase as well, saying that I'm here or I want to buy now. They're not just leads that are going, we fancy having a look down on the Costa del Sol, and that's great, but these were ones that needed attention, and although we've got 6 or 7 on the team, you're right. It's serving all those people.
I think also we're getting a lot of referrals as well, particularly on the American client base, because a lot of those people now are accelerating their plans, aren't they? Because the Golden Visa is going to be withdrawn, and for a lot of Americans, the Golden Visa is the perfect visa residence product. And so a lot of people are panicking a little bit from the States, thinking, oh my God, how can I get my place secured? So you've had people from your original American client base buying over the phone, haven't you?
That's right. And it's just more, it's causing them to be more motivated to getting moving now, where they might think, well, we could do this in a few months' time. And it's like, well, actually, there's no time like the present. Let's get this sorted now, which I think is exciting for everybody. It's exciting for us. It's exciting for them, and it's that sort of time to really make it happen just before it goes.
Absolutely. I think as well, I mean, we were on another matter, well, still on the Golden Visa side of things, we were approached by a lot of news outlets, which is great. It's great that they acknowledge us as an industry expert and a voice of authority. But Sky News, GB News, we had the Daily Telegraph, I think the Times, the Daily Mail, they all wanted comment from us about the Golden Visa. What interested me was how negative some of them were. So one of those news outlets actually said to me, so Sean, are you ready to come on live tomorrow morning? I was like, yeah, fine, no problem at all. And can you give us some examples of Brits who have been kicked out because of the Golden Visa? And I'm like, what? No, that's not even happening. Why are you even mentioning that? So I think what they're looking for is a story.
Well,
obviously.
they cancelled that showing because of
show.
that. Yeah,
because
exactly.
I told them there isn't actually a story.
Yeah, there's no headline there.
No, there's no headline that they thought there was. But it just makes me think, crikey, maybe people just aren't up to date with this. They're just getting the wrong information. So what we've been trying to do is to give the correct information. So we filmed some content with Miguel Manzanares, one of the leading lawyers. I know you've done some today with another lawyer, just to try and cut through all the nonsense and try and make it as simple as possible for people to understand that, the Golden Visa is going, but there are alternatives, and perhaps better alternatives for some people, depending on what they're looking for, whether it's to become a tourist or to become a resident. But that was quite interesting as to how the media just want to twist things into a headline-worthy news article.
But that's kind of moved on, and I think that Montemayor.
Yes,
it's been going great, isn't it?
Yes, it has.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I mean, obviously, it's great for us because we live very locally.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful place to work, do business. But an awful lot of people wanting to know an awful lot about Montemayor. We've had clients, buyers, sellers, agents, investors coming up wanting to know more, seeing our videos, and wanting to know more about the area, wanting to know how they can get involved in terms of buying or selling. And so it's a very active little market up there. I'm really glad we've got a presence.
Yeah, we're finding that we're almost educating other agents now, which are going, I can get a big villa, great value for money, and it offers the privacy, the security of some of the big resorts that are more expensive and more, well known. So it's about educating a little bit there, and we're finding that it's kind of taken off even more in just a matter of weeks. That we're getting some serious offers coming through on some of the property up there, which is excellent, isn't it? It really is.
It is. I mean, you know that I've tried to sort of at least have some involvement in creating a destination in Montemayor. I think we're going the right way about it. And it takes time. You can't just open your doors and put a cafe in there and a shop and expect instant results. But I think we're seeing just over the last, 3 or 4 weeks since it has been open, just what an impact that has created. And the fact that now the news is starting to filter through. I mean, we haven't even started our agent discovery days. We haven't started any of them yet because we were just waiting for the weather to calm down, which it has done. So yeah, in fact, just mentioning that, one of the objections that we're finding at the moment with people looking to buy is the water shortage. I need to mention that because it has been on a lot of the news recently. We did have a water shortage here, didn't we? We did, yeah. Pretty much all winter without heavy rainfall.
And again, the headlines kicked in.
Doom
and gloom.
Yeah, and in fairness, I think it's probably the biggest scare we've had here for a number of years, certainly since I've been here, which is 20 odd years. Because normally everyone goes, oh my God, how are we going to do for water? How are we going to do for water? And then you look at the golf courses and there's water flying everywhere, the irrigation systems. But I think this year, because there just was no physical rainfall, I think a lot of people thought, oh, what are we going to do for water? Yeah. And the reservoirs were historically very, very low. And then of course over Easter, I always say to people, don't come at Easter because it always rains. Thankfully it did this year and it rained. So I think the reservoirs now, certainly our local one in Istana, is back up to over 75% of capacity, which is normal. So a lot of the municipalities now, I know Estepona's already said, yeah, you can do what you want in the summer, just be prudent, but you can fill your pools, you can have showers, you can do what you want. Benavides, I think, are going to follow suit. Marbella will as well, I'm pretty sure. So panic over. But I think what it's done is it's actually got the municipalities thinking of the future, thinking, okay, we've got to future-proof this somehow. We've got to either earmark some money or invest some money in desalination or whatever it takes to make sure we don't end up in this situation again. But it's put a couple of buyers off. They've been saying to us, well, what about the water shortage? Are we going to be running on? No.
I think there's always going to be little stories like that. Every year there's a reason, and then you get the figures at the end of the year saying it was the busiest year ever for tourism.
And it is
for property.
busy.
So it is. I mean, it is really busy, isn't it? Normally we used to see the seasonal change. Yeah. And now it's a continuous flow of traffic, which indicates it's busy down here.
We were out yesterday trying to get from Marbella to Puerto Banús to Benavides. I think we were stuck in traffic for about 3 hours. It felt like, oh my goodness, I'm in the middle of London. It's like, what is going on? There were a couple of little knocks and stuff like that, but they're going to have to address that at some point, I think, because that could be the next thing. But there's always a reason not to buy, isn't there? There's always a reason, whether it's a war or a cost of living crisis or a water shortage or a forest fire. There's always a reason to say, no, I won't buy. Yeah. And it's the people who just go, yeah, come on, let's do it. I think they're the ones that are going to reap the benefits.
So interesting about Montemayor, we're very happy about that, but we're not just Montemayor, we are all over the coast. And actually
I was going to say all over the place.
All over the place. Well, we are, with the team working around the clock. And, we're serving all the areas from Banús to Marbella. We've had some go through to PPC, which is private purchase contract on Laguna de Banús down there, that lovely development, and bigger areas like that. So as much as we are looking at Montemayor, we're also still continuing to serve the rest of the coast, aren't we?
Absolutely. The vast majority of our business comes in what I would call the Golden Triangle, which is Estepona, Marbella and Benavides, that triangle there. But also the outlying areas. Soto Grande, we're very active. La Cala de Mijas, Elveria, Mijas Costa, we're also very active as well. And we have members of our staff who live down there. So yeah, we cover the whole coast. I think you have to here because it's not like when you buy a primary residence, you kind of know the street you want to buy on the area you want. Some people come here and they are genuinely open-minded and they say, do you know what, I don't mind. I don't mind where I am, but I'd like a house or an apartment that looks like this. Yeah. But I don't care where it is. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you have to kind of work out which locations. And sometimes you can't just pigeonhole a client into an area just because it's your favourite.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, customers, clients from all over the world again. Yep. Obviously the UK, but America, Canada, down to Scandinavia. We get a mixed bag, aren't we?
A real mixed bag, which is great because what you don't want to see here is the market being dominated by one party, because that's always a risk. Because if that party then, the interest then goes, then you're stuck with no one. This is from all over the world. It's a real international destination, which we said before, it's become the California of Europe. And that, I think, is the best thing about this place, is that everyone wants a little piece of it.